Imagine hearing history straight from the source. In this new series, we're diving into the personal logs of history's most important figures. Each episode, you'll hear them narrate their own accounts of key moments, directly from their journals. But this isn't just about their triumphs. It's about uncovering the untold stories that changed the course of history. Today we begin with Christopher Columbus. His first voyage to the Americas is a journey of discovery, but it's also the start of something far darker. This is the first of many logs, so let's see what Columbus truly recorded.
Captain's Log. Christopher Columbus, Admiral of the Ocean Sea. By the order of their Majesties Ferdinand and Isabella, I have been entrusted with command of this historic voyage. It is my duty to chart a westward path across the vast Atlantic, to uncover new routes to the Indies, and to expand the glory of Spain. This log is my testimony to the courage of my crew, the resilience of our ships, and the challenges we shall face as we venture into the unknown. May it serve as a record of this unprecedented journey. On the 3rd day of August in the year 1492, we departed from the port of Palos de la Frontera. Our fleet consisted of 3 ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Niña. Our journey westward, an uncharted route to what we believed to be the lands of India, began with favorable winds that carried us south toward the Canary Islands. We made good speed in the initial days, though challenges arose. The rudder of the Pinta broke on the 6th of August, and I suspected sabotage by some of the crew, reluctant as they were about this voyage. Despite this, we pressed on after repairs were completed in the Canary Islands. By the 6th of September, we departed from Gomera, fully stocked and prepared to face the vast ocean. The journey westward began with steady winds. For days, we encountered little but the endless horizon. By the 13th of September, we noticed a curious phenomenon. The compass needles no longer pointed directly to the North Star, a detail that unsettled my sailors. I reassured them that this variation was a natural occurrence, a result of celestial movements and not an omen. Signs of land began to appear as we ventured further. On the 16th of September, we saw floating vegetation and a live crab among the seaweed. Such signs bolstered the crew's spirits, though doubt and murmurs of discontent grew louder. I kept a double reckoning of our distance to manage their fears, recording a lesser distance publicly than what we truly traveled. By the 25th of September, we saw flocks of birds heading westward, and the air grew milder. These observations gave us hope that land was near. On the 7th of October, more birds appeared, prompting us to alter our course slightly to follow their path. In the early hours of the 12th of October, a sailor named Rodrigo de Triana cried out from the Pinta land. I too had seen a faint light the evening prior, flickering as if from a distant shore. We approached cautiously and anchored at dawn. I led a party ashore with flags bearing the royal standard. The land was lush, with green trees, clear waters, and an abundance of fruits. The island's inhabitants, curious and welcoming, approached us without fear. They were unclothed, their bodies painted with various colors. They brought us parrots, cotton thread, and small trinkets, trading eagerly for items we considered of little value, such as beads and bells. These people seemed content and peaceful, without knowledge of weapons or warfare. Their simplicity struck me, as did their lack of iron or other metals. They showed interest in everything we presented, and I noted their willingness to share what little they had. I saw potential in their intelligence and adaptability, content and peaceful, without knowledge of weapons or warfare. Their simplicity struck me, as did their lack of iron or other metals. They showed interest in everything we presented, and I noted their willingness to share what little they had. I saw potential in their intelligence and adaptability. After claiming the island, which I named San Salvador, we sailed onward, exploring nearby lands. On the 14th of October, I observed that these islands were flat and fertile, with extensive coastlines and crystal-clear waters. The people on these islands shared similarities with those we first encountered, though their dialects varied slightly. On one such island, I saw traces of gold, small ornaments worn in their noses. By signs, the natives indicated that more gold could be found further south. Eager to locate its source, I resolved to continue our exploration. The islanders used canoes, carved from single tree trunks, to navigate the waters. Some of these canoes were large enough to hold dozens of men, yet they were swift and stable. Their craftsmanship impressed me, and their skill in the water was evident as they swam effortlessly and handled their vessels with precision. The further we traveled, the more I marveled at the abundance of nature. I saw fish of vibrant colors, trees with unfamiliar fruits, and landscapes that seemed untouched by human hands. The air remained temperate, and the seas were calm, as if nature itself favored our voyage. Despite these wonders, Not all was peaceful. On the 16th of October, a man attempted to escape in a canoe. Though he was captured, I ensured he was treated well, giving him gifts and returning him to his people to foster goodwill. This approach proved fruitful as the islanders grew more trusting, providing us with water and provision. Our search for gold led us to larger islands. One, which I named Fernandina, was particularly fertile, with vast forests and signs of cultivation. The people here were slightly more reserved, but still traded willingly. They spoke of a great land further west, where gold was plentiful. After weeks of exploration, we turned back toward Spain, our ships laden with specimens of plants, animals, and goods to present to the crown. The return journey was not without peril. Storms battered our ships, and we lost precious time navigating treacherous waters. As I write this, I reflect on the enormity of what we have accomplished. This voyage has unveiled a world of unimaginable beauty and potential. Though the lands we have found are not the Indies as I had hoped, they hold riches of another kind, an opportunity to expand our understanding of the world, and to establish connections with these distant people. I leave these accounts as a record of our journey, for future generations to know the trials we faced and the wonders we discovered. May these writings inspire others to venture into the unknown, driven by curiosity and the promise of discovery.
So, that was Columbus's take on his famous first voyage. Bold exploration? Sure. Epic story? Absolutely. But let's talk about what Columbus conveniently left out of his little travel diary. You know, the part where things didn't go so well for the people he discovered. While the log gushes about lush islands, gold and friendly natives, it skips over the fine print. These weren't just empty lands waiting to be claimed, they were home to thriving civilizations. The Taino people, for example, welcomed Columbus with open arms, only to be met with exploitation, forced labour, and, well, a pretty grim fate. That cheerful trade of beads and trinkets? It's not so cheerful when you realise it was the start of a power imbalance that would spiral into centuries of colonial domination. And then there's the gold. Columbus made it sound like the Caribbean was just one big treasure chest. But in reality, gold was scarce, and his desperation to find it led to even more exploitation of the indigenous people. Not exactly the glowing discovery he promised back in Spain. Of course, Columbus didn't see himself as a villain. He thought he was just doing his job, sailing west, claiming land, and making Spain rich. But in the process, he also set the stage for the transatlantic slave trade, massive population decline, and the reshaping of two entire continents. So was Columbus a daring explorer or a harbinger of doom? Well, why not both? What's clear is that his journey didn't just discover new lands. It kicked off an era of conquest that would forever change the world. And that's the story Columbus didn't put in his log. Thanks for watching, and as always, remember, history isn't just what's written down, it's what's left out. See you in the next one.